Welcome to another episode of Fright Friday, right here on Night Owl Video. Today, I am reviewing Wolf Creek, which was actually a request from one of my viewers several months ago. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, I was just too lazy to go back and try to find it. But anyway, this is for one of my lovely viewers, subscribers, and this was requested a while back, Wolf Creek, and I'm finally getting around to it. So I'm pretty happy about getting that off of my to-do list. And I hope that person is still watching. If you are, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this review. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. Thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. I am up to, as of recording this video, 304 subscribers. So thank you very much. As I mentioned in my recent videos, I am going to be doing a special video for the 300 subscriber mark. I just haven't figured out what that's going to be yet, or as of recording this, I might have some more comments about this, so I'm hoping maybe you guys have some ideas for a cool video. I haven't done my, have I done my, I'm trying to remember all I've done. I don't think I've done my DVD horror collection. I think I've only done my VHS and my Blu-rays, so I could do a tour of my my horror DVD collection, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves deep, plus I've got all kinds of stacks like this one right here all over my room. So we'll see. Anyway, today we're talking about Wolf Creek. I'm going to talk about the cast, production, critical reception, my thoughts on the film, and a whole bunch more, so I hope you'll stick around to the end. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Wolf Creek is an Australian horror movie from 2005, almost 20 years old, believe it or not. This was directed by a person named Greg McLean, who also directed Rogue, which I believe is a giant alligator movie, Wolf Creek 2, and he's also a producer on Wolf Creek 3, which according to my research is still in production. So so that's that. This film stars John Jarratt, who was in Django Unchained, as well as Wolf Creek 2 and the upcoming Wolf Creek 3. It also stars Nathan Phillips, who was in Snakes on a Plane, Cassandra McGrath, who was in lots of Australian TV shows that I don't know, and it also stars Kirsty Morassi, who was in the film Darkness Falls, which I have never seen. Sometimes foreign films, the actors are from whatever country the film is made in, and so oftentimes I don't know a lot of the movies that these people are in because they're from their country and probably don't get a lot of North American releases or recognition. So the synopsis for this film is a chilling, loosely factually based story of 3 road trippers in remote Australia who are plunged into danger when they accept help from a friendly local. Christy, Ben, and Liz, that's the characters' names, are 3 friends in their 20s who set out to hike through the scenic Wolf Creek National Park in the Australian outback. The trouble begins when they find that their car won't start and they run into a local bushman named Mick Taylor. So the film was ambiguously marketed as being based on true events, while its plot bore elements reminiscent of the real-life murders of backpackers by Ivan Millet in the 1990s and Bradley Murdoch in 2001, both of which McLean, the director, used as inspiration for the screenplay, the writer. Produced on a budget of $1.1 million, that was the budget. Filming of Wolf Creek took place in South Australia. The film was shot almost exclusively in high-definition video, HDV. The budget was $1.4 million for this film, and it made $35 million at the box office. That's in Australian dollars, both of those numbers. But that's a pretty good return on investment, ROI, as the business people say. The original screenplay resembled a straightforward slasher film, and McLean was ultimately displeased with the final project, and that's why he started to look into adding kind of more of a true real-life story element to this film. Filming took place over 5 weeks in Australia's winter months of 2004, almost entirely in South Australia. Aerial shots of the crater, however, show the genuine Wolf Creek crater in Australia. One particular location that was used during the shooting of the Traveler's Drive to Wolf Creek had not seen rainfall. So there's a bunch of weird things that happened while they were filming this movie. So on this particular location, on the drive to Wolf Creek, This area had not seen rainfall in over 6 years. However, once the crew arrived and proceeded to start shooting, it rained for 3 continuous days, forcing the writer, director, and actors to incorporate the highly unexpected rainfall into the shooting script. The rock quarry where Mick's mining site is located was the site of one of the actual real-life murders, which stirred up controversy apparently among the local residents who mistook the film as being based on that crime. Since the film had a relatively low budget, many of the action scenes involved the real actors. For example, after running through the outback barefoot while her character escapes, star Kesty Morassi ended up with hundreds of thorns and nettles in her feet. So this was kind of reminiscent. I was thinking when I was getting some of this information that this kind of reminded me of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they were filming in like extreme heat and extreme. They had like rotten like carcasses of animals and stuff, and the smell was so bad it was causing the actors to throw up and stuff like that. So this kind of reminded me of that kind of like rogue guerrilla style filming, and just this intense performance that these actors had to go through. During the shooting of Morassi's torture scene in the shed, that's one of the scenes, her nonstop screams and crying began to discomfort and unsettle the crew. Executive producer Matt Hearn said that the female members of the shooting crew were brought to tears by the performance, as if someone was actually being tortured. And it's pretty intense. This movie's not for the faint of heart. Wolf Creek was marketed in both Australia and international markets as being based on a true story, though it is in actuality a composite inspired by several of the true crimes, as I mentioned earlier. So it kind of echoes a bit of Texas Chainsaw again, where it's like based on true stories. Well, clearly the director, producers, writers of this film were inspired by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. This film surprisingly only holds a 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of the critics didn't like it because of the gratuitous violence, and but other critics praised it, saying that it was kind of a throwback to the grindhouse cinema and it had that charm. Roger Ebert apparently said that he wanted to walk out of the theater while watching this film. So I can see where that could happen with kind of mainstream film critics. It went on to be like on the top 10 lists of like many horror movie lists, like scariest movie moments and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's pretty terrifying. My thoughts on this film, I would say, I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5. Probably just because there's a part of me that was actually pretty disturbed by this movie, and it is definitely like in that grindhouse style, even though it's like a more modern movie, but it definitely has that vibe to it. And but otherwise a great thriller, edge of your seat thriller, scary. But yeah, some of the scenes were really unsettling, and I could see clearly why some of those critics thought that this movie was just too unsettling for them, as Roger Ebert wanted to get up and leave the theater. So, but other critics, like I said, loved it because of its kind of throwback to the grindhouse charm, and it definitely has that vibe to it. So if you like those kind of movies, you probably really like it. If you like road chase movies like Joyride or Jeepers Creepers or Texas Chainsaw, the original, it's got that vibe to it. It's set in the Australian outback, so it's got that kind of Mad Maxy kind of, people being chased and stuff, and it's like I said, it's very intense. So if intense grindhouse torture kind of movies are not your thing, probably skip this one. But if you like that stuff, this one's very well made, in my opinion. I would highly recommend it to people who like that stuff. The quote on the front, "As real as horror gets," from director Robert Rodriguez. So if that says anything, that says something. So this edition is the unrated edition DVD that came out in 2006. It's Alliance Entertainment. This film is rated 18 in Canada for brutal violence and disturbing content. This is a Region 1 DVD. Special features are a commentary with the director, making of Wolf Creek documentary, deleted scene, and more. So I have not watched that stuff there, but yeah. It says, not since the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre has terror felt so real. That's a quote from Ken Fox of TV Guide magazine. Yeah, you can see this is, it's one of those, yeah. So, and it came out in that era of like, I'm not lumping this in with torture porn like Hostel and stuff like that, but it's definitely very gratuitous violence or over the top violence and very intense and disturbing. So if that's not your thing, then you're probably going to want to avoid this. There's the DVD artwork there. You can see this person is out on the back roads of Australia being hunted down by this terrible person. So yeah, it's pretty intense, pretty intense. Where can you watch this movie? Hey, can you always go to Tubi? Tubi is your best buddy, especially for horror movies. So head on over to Tubi. It's free to watch on there. I didn't look on YouTube. I feel like maybe Wolf Creek 2 is on YouTube, but that's a film I haven't seen yet. I bought the DVD, which I believe is in this pile somewhere right here. I haven't got around to watching it yet, but now that I know it's the same director, I might go and check it out. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Wolf Creek from 2005. What did you think of this film? Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you didn't like it, why didn't you like it? Maybe you thought it was just too violent or scary or intense. But yeah, this is not for the faint of heart, like I said. But if you like this review, consider giving me a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, consider giving me a thumbs up. If you like this kind of channel or content, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Every Tuesday I do Cult Movie Tuesdays, and every Friday I do Fright Friday, my horror movie reviews. And in between I try to do thrifting haul videos when I can. I just had one this past week, which was pretty cool. I got a lot of really cool stuff, including one really exceptionally good thing. So if you missed those, go back and check them out. I have playlists for all of my cult movies, all of my Fright Friday reviews, and I also have a playlist for all of my thrifting hauls. So if you see one and you want to see more, just follow along on those playlists and you'll see lots more content much like this, so, and much like these reviews. So yeah, so check this movie out on Tubi. Leave me your comments below if you liked it or did not like it. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video. And until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But hopefully not out on the back roads in Australia being hunted by an insane madman. But until next time, take good care of yourselves. Tell your family and friends you love them because, you know, sometimes you don't get another chance to. And so do that because I don't want to get into it too much, but I recently had to say goodbye to somebody that I hadn't said goodbye to properly, and it was very sad. So I think it's still a good practice just to tell your friends and family you love them anyway. So, but anyway, that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching and following along, subscribing, and until next time, I will see you in the next video. Take good care. Bye.